Hello everyone. I had originally planned to visit Kazokum to enjoy the stunning mountain scenery and reconnect with my old friend Hassan, an experienced hunter. However, as soon as I arrived, he eagerly pulled me into a hunting trip. Kazokum is famous for its dense forests and rugged terrain, making it an ideal hiding place for wild boars. Are you ready to join in on the wild boar hunting adventure? If you're ready, leave a comment with the number 1. My relaxing trip suddenly turned into a real hunt, making me wonder who the hunter and who the prey truly were today. Luckily, I arrived in the Gazilkum mountain range of Turkey right at the start of wild boar hunting season. Hassan generously equipped me with a brand new hunting rifle and plenty of ammunition, all set for an exciting chase. As soon as we arrived, we quickly set up our positions. Wild boars were plentiful in this area, so we didn't have to wait long. Suddenly, one rushed right in front of us. Despite running, its speed was only around 15 km/h, not fast enough to escape our sights. Seizing the opportunity, we fired several shots and brought the target down on the spot. We continued to lie in ambush in the forest. Suddenly, my walkie-talkie crackled with Hassan's voice. The wild boars were getting close. Down at the foot of the mountain, a herd of wild boars charged through, shaking the entire forest. Seeing the perfect opportunity, I immediately took a shot at the lead boar, but the wild boar was fast, darting into the thick brush to avoid being tracked. When another one appeared, I took another shot. The bullet hit its mark, and the wild boar collapsed into the thick brush, marking another success in this thrilling hunt. Hassan and I continued to track and block their path. From different angles, the wild boars unknowingly ran straight into the trap we had set. The sound of gunshots echoed repeatedly, and we couldn't help but laugh at their foolishness. The thrill of taking down a target was truly exhilarating. I was completely caught up in this hunt. Before we could celebrate, I spotted another wild boar moving near the foot of the mountain. I focused and took aim, but I couldn't bring it down immediately. After 2 consecutive shots, the boar still escaped into the thick brush. We didn't give up and moved down the hillside to check. I waited and fired another shot to ensure it wouldn't have a chance to survive. From the mountaintop, I spotted another potential target. A herd of wild boars appeared and disappeared in the thick foliage. This time, it was Hassan's turn to fire, but the boar managed to escape. However, just seconds later, Hassan took a perfect shot, bringing down a few more that were trying to flee. Hunting is not just a chase. It's a tense battle, that doesn't allow for even a moment's rest. Hassan and I made our way along the mountainside to continue our journey, and we were fortunate to come across another group of hunters active in the area. They were chasing a herd of wild boars hidden on the green hills ahead. If you enjoy this story and want to keep exploring this thrilling hunt, don't forget to leave a comment with the number 2 to share your thoughts. Without hesitation, Hassan and I decided to join forces and encircle our targets. As the animals rushed out of the brush in a panic, we immediately gave chase, taking down one after another. We were so immersed in the hunt, the sound of gunshots and the thrill of the chase, that we completely lost track of time. It wasn't until we were preparing to leave that we realized we had taken down nearly a dozen wild boars. The wild boars ran for their lives, but not all of them were fast or lucky enough to escape our shots. Looking at our trophies, I couldn't help but think of a delicious lunch ahead. A wild boar roast feast with the distinctive spicy flavors of the Kazokila Mountains. A successful hunt and a fantastic meal were waiting for us. That afternoon, we enjoyed a fantastic wild boar feast at a small village. Instead of heading back to the mountains, we decided to change course and head towards the vast fields nearby for more hunting. We stood still, observing and listening carefully for any signals from the hunting dogs. We kept moving steadily, carefully closing in on our prey. Then suddenly, a massive wild boar charged at us with incredible speed, forcing me to react instantly. I fired several shots, but the beast kept running. Luckily, it eventually collapsed in the middle of the field. On the way back, that familiar figure appeared again, and we immediately gave chase. This time, Hassan wanted to try something different, hunting wild boar from the vehicle. The boar was running fast. From a considerable distance, Hassan fired 2 shots and successfully brought the target down. With all that we had accomplished on this unexpected trip, I was truly satisfied and already looking forward to the next adventure. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.
Recall! Recall!
In the vast fields of Koroyu, Turkey, locals have long whispered about terrifying monsters that could attack humans at any moment. Do you know what these monsters are? They are none other than the aggressive wild boars. Today, leave a comment with the number 5 and join us as we follow elite hunters on a mission to track down these massive wild boars and protect the local community from danger. Wild boars are omnivorous, highly adaptable creatures that play a vital role in the ecosystem. However, when their numbers grow uncontrollably, they become a serious threat to humans. They destroy crops, attack people, and even spread diseases. To mitigate these risks, humans have no choice but to hunt them. Our reliable companions on this hunt are the smart and courageous hunting dogs. The winter landscape here is barren and desolate, with golden brown grass and bare trees. The wild boars could be hiding anywhere, lurking in the shadows, ready to charge if we let our guard down. We climb to a higher position to get a better view, staying ever vigilant. Look, something is moving in the distance. A wild boar is charging at full speed, closely pursued by a determined hunting dog. This is going to be an intense chase. It has entered the edge of the forest, and we must act quickly. Everything is set, and we wait for the boar to enter our sights. A precise shot brings the wild boar down. It becomes a worthy trophy, and the hunting dogs rush in with excitement. Oh, a herd of wild boars is moving below us. A gunshot shatters the silence. Although they run fast, they can't escape our sights. In the vast wilderness, thick bushes obstructed our view, forcing us to stay highly focused. Spotting the target was one thing, but tracking its every move was another crucial challenge. The boar sensed the danger and began to flee. We pulled the trigger. A gunshot echoed, but unfortunately, the bullet missed its mark. The boar escaped. Hunting wild boars is no easy task. To catch these creatures, we patiently waited for the monsters to show themselves. With years of hunting experience, our professional hunter predicted their movements and was ready to fire. The moment the herd came into view, we zeroed in with intense concentration. The boars seemed unaware of the lurking danger and kept getting closer. The hunter took a few extra seconds to carefully aim, ensuring a precise shot. Immediately he fired, successfully bringing the target down. Our hunting journey continued across the vast, wild fields. We stayed alert, scanning the surroundings. The wild boars were certainly hiding somewhere nearby. There, fire! After a series of shots, several boars were brought down. We followed the winding paths, relentlessly pursuing the massive wild boars. In the rugged terrain with dense vegetation obstructing our view, we used drone technology to get a clearer perspective. A herd of wild boars was spotted in the distance. They were running fast. Hunting these invasive creatures is no easy task. There's no time to hesitate. Take it down now. After an intense and relentless hunt, we successfully protected the village and its people from the threat of these monstrous wild boars. Thank you for joining us on this hunting adventure. What do you think about this hunt? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to witness more thrilling hunts in the future. This weekend, Jackson invited me to California for a wild boar hunt. He often talks about the wild boars here and the devastating destruction they cause to the crops. That's why hunts like these are encouraged by the state authorities, and he usually hunts with friends. Without much thought, I packed my bags and came here to get ready for the hunt. Now, leave a comment with the number 1 to start this exciting journey together. Wild boars in California are causing significant negative impacts on the environment and the lives of locals. They not only invade residential areas, but also dig up grasslands, damage landscapes, and create a sense of unease. Additionally, wild boars destroy farmland, severely affecting crop yields and causing economic losses for farmers. To address this issue, the state government of California encourages hunters and farmers to participate in hunting to control the wild boar population.
Non mais franchement. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Early in the morning, we began moving toward the large field, where Jackson said wild boars often appeared. Sure enough, as the fog still clung to the mountaintops, we quickly spotted a herd of wild boars. They were leisurely foraging for food in the harvested rice fields. Their shiny black coats and massive bodies clearly showed they had been wreaking havoc on the crops all season. Carefully positioning the Ruger American .22 Magnum, I aimed for precision. My target was the fattest wild boar. The thought of bringing it down made my adrenaline surge. There was no time to hesitate. I squeezed the trigger and fired. The bullet hit the boar's side, clearly its weak spot, and it bolted away in sudden pain. It only managed to run a few meters. The precise shot had taken it down. The wild boar lay motionless in the field, probably weighing around 300 pounds. After a great start, our hunt continued toward the fields of Central California. We came across a herd of wild boars wandering near a small stream, slowly making their way through the dry grass. Their black fur made them stand out. Look, I even spotted a few large ones. Their size was not to be underestimated. It seemed like they sensed something. The herd quickly bolted and disappeared behind the rows of trees. A few minutes later, we chased them down and took down a massive black boar. With a single precise shot, it rolled down the hillside and was brought down. Leave a comment with the number 2 to share your thoughts on the dramatic moment when we took down this giant wild boar. As expected, hunting wild boars in California was an incredible experience. I had taken down the crop-destroying monsters. With the truck swaying, we made our way to the grasslands to search for more targets. It wasn't hard to spot the wild boars, as they appeared quite comfortably in the dry grass. This time, Jackson pointed out the target he wanted to take down. It was the largest wild boar in the herd. It was running, but still in a favorable position. The first shot hit its side. It staggered, but kept trying to chase after the herd. Without hesitation, I adjusted my rifle and took a second shot. This time, it hit the target again. However, this massive boar was not easy to bring down. I had to take a third shot to finish it off completely. Watching the wild boar roll down the hillside, I knew I had accomplished my goal, securing a big trophy. The boar had gray fur covered in mud. Perhaps it often wallowed in the mud to cool off from the scorching sun. It was terrifyingly large, with thick skin and impressive tusks. In today's hunt, we had taken down quite a few wild boars, most of them large and impressive. But we weren't stopping there. We still wanted to bring down more wild boars. Beneath the trees, a herd of wild boars was feeding and silently moving across the path. The lead boar was still the largest in the group. It moved slowly, unaware of the impending danger. It was the perfect opportunity. I could face it directly. Without making Jackson wait, I raised my rifle and aimed at close range. A precise shot was no challenge for me. The boar was hit and, in a panic, ran up the hillside. It couldn't escape. Just a few minutes later, we saw the massive creature lying motionless. The long tusks and enormous size were the first things I noticed about these wild boars. It would surely take us quite some time to process them. My hunt only lasted a day, but what I achieved surpassed all expectations. This truly was an impressive hunt. I didn't hesitate to tell Jackson that I was ready for the next hunting experience. Thank you all for joining me on this trip. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next video. After harvesting the crops, the local farmers and I organized a wild boar hunt. We all knew well the destruction these wild boars cause here, as many of last season's crops had been ruined by them. The damage caused by the wild boars was a constant headache for farmers. Therefore, we were even more determined to eliminate these crop-destroying creatures. Leave a comment with the number 0 and join us on this journey. Wild boars reproduce at an incredibly fast rate. Each sow can give birth to dozens of piglets. Within a few months, these piglets grow into a herd of adult boars, each weighing hundreds of kilograms. It's easy to imagine the chaos that unfolds when this herd invades the fields. They not only graze and destroy crops, but also cause serious damage to the ecosystem. Their waste also creates many problems for humans. In recent years, wild boars have frequently ventured into the city, where they can easily find food. As a result, farmers and hunters like us must make every effort to protect our property. On today's hunt, in addition to farmers, there were also professional hunters. The group quickly made their way toward the mountain, and immediately the wild boars panicked and scattered. Wild boars live in herds, so we could easily determine their direction. With the support of experienced hunters, a series of gunshots rang out, targeting the herd charging up the mountain. Despite their fear, they still tried to follow the lead boar. This is typical behavior for wild boars. Thanks to our close coordination, nearly 10 wild boars were brought down. The power of teamwork is truly something not to be underestimated. From the dry grass, a herd of wild boars scattered in panic. Leading the charge was a sow, followed by piglets struggling to keep up. We always aim to eliminate the sows because they are the primary cause of the wild boar population increase. A single sow can give birth to dozens of piglets, and each year, the wild boar population grows significantly. The sound of gunshots echoed throughout the mountains. The wild boars weaved through the thick grass but couldn't escape the relentless pursuit. Within minutes, one after another, the boars fell. Amid the chaos of gunshots and barking dogs, a herd of wild boars was flushed out of its hiding place. Dozens of wild boars, led by the leader, began to cross the hills. Leave a comment with the number 2 to share your feelings about this thrilling wild boar chase. We couldn't miss this great opportunity, so we immediately raised our rifles and aimed at the herd, firing. A few were brought down, but the rest quickly escaped. Several wild boars were separated from the group, so we carefully took aim at them as well. Determined to eliminate the wild boars, we chased them across the mountains. The herd had been significantly reduced in number, but they still kept running. It was a long journey. We didn't give up until we had eliminated every last one. In this remote countryside, wild boars often venture close to residential areas in search of food. We chose a secluded spot to set up an ambush. Suddenly, from a distance, I spotted a wild boar charging down the mountainside. Its sleek fur, muscular body, and speed made it look like the wind itself. Feeling the excitement, I quickly focused all my attention on the target. Aiming carefully, I squeezed the trigger. The gunshot echoed in the quiet space. The wild boar fell with the first shot. Though we were quite exhausted, we continued to track the target. We all hoped to bring down as many boars as possible. The tension and desire to win never diminished with each step. From the mountaintop, I scanned the distance, searching for signs of the prey. It wasn't hard to spot a few wild boars running for their lives on the other side of the mountain. They weren't many, but each one was massive, plump, and had the intimidating black fur. These wild boars were not only strong but also extremely dangerous, always ready to attack at any moment. After a few minutes of careful observation, I signaled to my team, and the chase began. Despite the distance, with many years of experience, I was able to aim and shoot accurately. Each time I brought down a wild boar, the excitement grew. When the wild boars ran into the dense forest, we didn't hesitate to follow. Carefully spotting one hiding, I chose the perfect angle and fired. One afternoon, we managed to hunt quite a few wild boars. Most of them were large, with some being absolutely massive, which excited everyone. After the hunt, I had a lot of fun and a fantastic experience. Although the wild boar population in our area is still large, I believe that with our efforts, we will soon have control over their numbers. Thank you for following this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you on the next hunt. At my house, every time night falls, strange sounds from deep within the forest send chills down our spines. It's the wild boars, uninvited invaders, relentlessly destroying my family's small garden. Today, a few friends and I have planned a night hunt in a nearby wild valley. What will we bring back from this hunt? Leave a comment with the number 1 and join me on this thrilling and wild adventure. Late in the afternoon, we drove into the valley, following a narrow dirt path filled with rocks and gravel that had been washed away by the rain from the night before, making the journey more challenging. Before us was the peaceful sight of green meadows, with zebras and ostriches roaming, searching for food. The sky gradually darkened, and the heavy air seemed to signal an approaching storm, but that didn't shake our determination. It wasn't until around 7:30 p.m., when the darkness thickened around the forest, that the first wild boars began to appear. They were impressive in size, with thick, dark gray fur and long snouts, always alert to any unusual sounds around them. In the light drizzle, we silently watched as the wild boars moved closer to the trap and cautiously began to feed. Waiting for the right moment, I quickly fired at the boar in the most favorable position. The gunshot sent the wild boars into a panic, scattering in all directions. We immediately adjusted our rifles and continued searching for a target in the darkness of the forest. Another wild boar slowly emerged from the brush. I squeezed the trigger. The gunshot brought it down on the spot. Tonight's hunt was truly wild. The rain made everything more difficult, but we persisted, determined to bring down the prey in our sights. Luckily, the rain quickly stopped, leaving behind a cool and serene atmosphere. We decided to move to another location, a large meadow nearby. In the pitch-black night, the herd of cattle was resting, creating a peaceful scene. But not long after, we spotted something unexpected. Do you see it? Not just one, but many massive wild boars were standing among the cattle. These wild boars could weigh up to 200 kilo. With their aggressive nature, they weren't afraid to confront other animals. I aimed at the largest wild boar, held the rifle steady, squeezed the trigger, and brought down one boar after another. With each shot, we had to focus on accuracy, ensuring we took down as many as possible. The dense herd of wild boars panicked and scattered, making it harder to aim. At the same time, we had to be cautious not to accidentally hit the cattle. When the hunt ended, the ground was littered with the boars we had taken down, scattered all around. We quickly gathered our trophies and lined them up for inventory. Although we had taken down many, the number of boars that escaped still remained large, leaving us with a sense of regret. Our goal didn't stop there. Determined to hunt even larger wild boars, we climbed into the truck bed, scanning the area for prey. One of the weapons I had carefully prepared was a speaker, emitting a special sound. The realistic sound from the speaker not only piqued the boars' curiosity, but also drew them closer. Look, a wild boar quickly moved through the grass, heading toward us. It was massive, with dark skin and fur, its bright red eyes glowing under the lights. Though it was slightly cautious, its curiosity kept it moving closer. When it reached the ideal distance, I fired the first shot, aiming straight for its head. However, the wild boar didn't fall. The second and third shots rang out one after another. It still struggled and tried to escape. Only with the fifth shot did I finally bring the prey down. The trophy made us extremely excited. What? Really? It seemed that this hunting experiment had exceeded our expectations. Not only the sound, but also the light from the headlights attracted even more wild boars. We continued to lie in ambush, taking down a few more, all drawn in by the sound I created. This was truly the most unique and exciting night hunting experience I've ever had. It was late, but we kept at it, determined to bring down a few more wild boars. The massive dark shapes casually foraged for food in the field, unintentionally moving into our sights. Once the target was in range, I quickly fired. The sound of gunshots echoed, sending the wild boars into a panic as they fled. However, our group of hunters didn't let them escape. We all carefully adjusted our rifles, determined to take down the entire herd. Hey, what did you get, buddy? Those precise shots helped us take down several large boars, a great achievement. In the quiet of the night, we worked tirelessly to eliminate the wild boars, helping to reduce the damage they caused to local farmers. However, as the night grew later, exhaustion began to set in. We realized it was time to end the hunt. The gunshots gradually became fewer, and perhaps the wild boars were too frightened to return. The hunt ended with a proud result, bringing the joy of a successful night hunt. The last gunshots faded, and the countryside returned to its usual quiet. Despite the many challenges, teamwork and perseverance helped us achieve our goal. This was truly a memorable experience. Crazy, but exciting. Thank you for following along. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. The sun had just risen, and the morning mist still clung to the leaves. But the tranquility of the village was shattered. Wild boar tracks marked the dirt road, leading straight to the devastated gardens. The herd had come in the dead of night, rampaging through everything in their path. We had had enough. It was time to strike back. The hunting team quickly gathered, checked their weapons, and finalized the plan. Today, not a single wild boar was going to leave this place. The boars invading residential areas were not just a safety concern. They also caused serious economic, environmental, and public health impacts. To minimize the risks, locals need to report wild boar sightings to authorities immediately, avoid direct contact, and take appropriate preventive measures. Following the tracks, we chased a herd of wild boars that were destroying the cornfields. As we got closer, they fled, disappearing into the thick brush. Their location had been pinpointed. We surrounded them and pushed them out of their hiding place. Weapons ready, targets in sight. The team fired. Perfect. A strong start. These were excellent trophies. However, our main hunting area wasn't the field, but a nearby hill. Fresh tracks indicated that another herd of boars had just sneaked into the area. From the tower on the hill, I adjusted the scope and scanned the surroundings. There they were, the wild boars we were chasing. We couldn't let them escape. Have you ever chased wild boars to hunt them? If you have, leave a comment with the number 2. If not, leave a 0.